making it all about God. Now listen, because if you watch my videos, you know I make a lot of things about God. All right. And in no way am I telling you that God should not be involved in your dating process if you are a believer, because he's gonna be involved in mine. I'll tell you that much. But here's what I mean. The key word here is all, making it all about God. And what I'm saying to you is this. I once had a client, I remember one time, where she had this guy that she really liked. And they were actually both in the church. They were involved in the church. And every time she engaged with him, it was talking about God and scripture and all these things, right? That's all she focused on. And part of her thought that's what she should do because he's a man of God. And I think he was even working towards being in a certain leadership position in the church or whatever. So he was very committed to the church. So she thought maybe that was the angle she's supposed to take. And nothing would progress with this guy. It's like, yeah, they would have their conversation, but it wouldn't go anywhere. And she was a very good looking woman. So it was like, okay, why is he not having interest? At least that's what she was wondering. And when she spoke to me about it, I said, well, listen, he needs to know who you are. Like, he knows that you have God in your life. And that's great. And again, we don't deny that. We don't run from that. And we don't show that there's nothing wrong with showing that that's a priority in your life. But you are not allowing the man to see you and who you are outside of that, beyond that. Because listen, if I'm in a relationship with you, if 24/7 is about church, God, and scripture, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. Like, I don't know if any of you have ever been with an overly religious person. That is frustrating. It can be very stressful, it can be very annoying. We want a balanced life. We want God, but we want to have fun. And when I say fun, good fun and all that kind of stuff, nothing, crazy or whatever. But we want to be able to enjoy each other on different levels. And sometimes as a woman, and I have to say this, you're hiding behind God and you're using that shield as a method of protection. And again, you're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable and show who you are. And so that man doesn't get to connect with you. And all that overly religious on the surface, it becomes overbearing. It's too much. It's too much. So when I say making it all about God, I simply mean being overly religious in the dating process. I mean, again, not allowing you two to get to know each other outside of church and spirituality. Again, that will play a role, that will be important. I keep stressing that. But you got to bring you to the table. You beyond that, because you are more than that. You are. You know what I'm saying? God made you more than that. So there's no reason to hide that unless you are lacking confidence in the other aspects of who you are. And I say unless, meaning that that's an issue that we have to then address and correct. Because again, it goes back to now you're using the God and the religion as a defense mechanism. And people can sense that. You know what I'm saying? And so, and also let me say this. I feel the need to say this. When you come off overly religious, right? We have to understand that we are all human. We're all gonna make mistakes. We all may have our, even not all, but many people may have their guilty pleasures, all right? Again, not that they're all just evil people or something like that, but we maybe, they're into some things that may not be looked upon as the most godly, all right? Okay, like in a video I did the other day about masculine traits, you can check it out. I talked about being dominant in the bedroom and how some women like to be choked. And some people took that as, oh, well, no, there's a problem. And I understand their argument, but my point is, yes, some people are into some things that may not be looked upon as godly. The point here is when you're dealing with someone who makes you feel like everything is about church, religion, God, you feel like there's no room for being human. There's no room for making a mistake. There's no room for, even if something that you like is something that you need to work past, you don't have that leeway here because they're just so overbearing with their religious beliefs. And that can be a huge turnoff. So just be mindful of that. Be who you are. Again, God is a priority, but be mindful of if you're making it all about God in the dating process. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. All right, so now the fourth sign, you're just an option to him, is that all he gives you is excuses and no corrections. All right? What I mean by that is this.